Imagine walking down a busy street and suddenly getting this weird feeling that something's off. Most people would just keep walking, completely oblivious. But you notice everything: the way that guy across the street just changed his walking pace, how the usual chatter of the coffee shop suddenly got quieter, that car that's passed by 3 times in the last few minutes. Scientists have found that people who've been through tough times develop what they call enhanced threat detection. Think of it like having a built-in radar system that's always scanning for danger. Researchers tested this by showing people pictures that flashed between normal and threatening faces really quickly, and the ones who'd been through rough stuff spotted the dangerous faces way faster than everyone else. It's like their brains are running a constant background scan of their environment, noticing patterns that most people completely miss. But this ability comes at a cost. Your brain is basically running security cameras 24/7, and that takes a lot of energy. Imagine having an antivirus program that never shuts off. Sure, you're safer, but your system is always running hot. Scientists call it hypervigilance. Your brain refusing to ever let its guard down again. You're basically walking around with a mental security system that most people would need years of training to develop. Now imagine getting amazing news, but instead of jumping for joy, your first thought is, what could go wrong? Most people would call you a downer, but you might actually be more resilient than they are. Scientists call it defensive pessimism. Studies show that people who think this way actually perform better under pressure. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. While others are daydreaming about success, these people are mapping out every possible disaster. Instead of being paralyzed by negative thoughts, they use them as fuel. Athletes who use this strategy don't just imagine perfect performances, they imagine falling flat on their face, getting booed by the crowd, or even their pants falling down mid-performance. By the time they actually compete, they've already faced their worst fears in their heads. So when something does go wrong, they're not shocked, they're ready. In a world obsessed with good vibes only, these people are mental preppers, stockpiling solutions for problems that haven't even happened yet. Picture walking into a room and instantly feeling everyone's emotions hit you like a wave. You're not just noticing that people are happy or sad, you're actually feeling it in your gut. It's like being an emotional sponge, soaking up feelings whether you want to or not. You might think this makes you weak or oversensitive, but it's actually a sign your brain is operating at a higher level. It literally copies and mirrors the emotional states of others. But this superpower comes with a price. Imagine being a nurse who feels every patient's pain, every family's grief, every colleague's stress. Unlike physical weight, you can't just put it down when you're tired. The emotions stick to you like tar, layer after layer. It's why you feel drained after social events, even if you're just sitting and talking. Your brain is running an emotional marathon while everyone else is on a casual stroll. Yet, the fact you can handle this constant emotional input without breaking down is a sign of superior mental strength. You're basically the emotional equivalent of a Navy SEAL. Think about having a built-in error detector in your brain that never shuts off, like a friend who never lets you forget that embarrassing thing you did years ago. As annoying as that sounds, it might mean your brain is stronger than most. Deep inside, the anterior cingulate cortex of your brain's quality control department lights up when you mess up. Most people forget their mistakes quickly, but if you replay every cringe-worthy moment in detail, your brain is actually helping you. It's like having a personal coach keeping records of every failure, not to shame you, but to make sure you don't repeat them. Scientists found that mentally strong people remember failures more vividly, not because they're pessimistic, but because their brains are better at learning from mistakes. While everyone else is busy showing off highlight reels, your brain is running blooper reels, making you sharper with each one. You might be that person who gets invited to parties but immediately starts plotting your escape. While everyone else is snapping group selfies, you're calculating how soon you can leave without offending anyone. That discomfort in groups might actually be your hidden strength. Studies show that people who feel uneasy in crowds often have higher mental resilience. While others talk about lunch, your mind might be solving bigger problems. Einstein didn't crack relativity at a pool party. Newton didn't figure out gravity while singing karaoke. They were sitting alone, thinking deeply, probably relieved they didn't have to socialize. When you're alone, Your brain isn't wasting energy worrying about whether your laugh sounds weird. It's free to create, solve, and innovate. That very urge to retreat from crowds might be fueling your best ideas. Then there's that restless voice in your head that won't shut up, always asking, "But why?" While most people accept things at face value, your brain acts like a detective on constant patrol. Scientists call it metacognition, a thinking about thinking. It may feel exhausting, but it's a powerful trait. While others run on autopilot, you're building deeper pathways of understanding. Most minds are like houses with locked rooms. Yours is made of glass walls with cameras in every corner. Nothing slips by. Sure, it's tiring being your own thought police, but it's also a form of mental armor. When life throws curveballs, you've already dissected the possibilities. You've questioned outcomes, considered scenarios, and stocked your mental toolkit for emergencies. That constant questioning isn't weakness, it's your mind running a more advanced operating system. Decision-making is another place where your brain shows its strength. Even if it feels draining, some people pick from the menu in 2 seconds flat. You, on the other hand, analyze every ingredient like you are dismantling a bomb. Scientists discovered this with judges. Early in the day, they handed out parole like Oprah handing out gifts. But by afternoon, after decision fatigue set in, almost everyone got denied. Same cases, different results, simply because the judges' brains were tired. Every decision you make is like draining your phone battery. By evening, you're at 1%, barely deciding between pizza or starving. The exhaustion you feel isn't weakness, it's because your brain is considering far more variables than most, making you stronger but also hungrier for rest. And when you finally go to that party, you notice afterward your brain feels like it's been through a blender while everyone else is fine. That's because your mind is working in high resolution, processing every tiny detail, every shift in tone, every flicker of an eye. Scientists call this sensory processing sensitivity. I call it director's cut mode. You're running on an upgraded version of reality. It requires recovery time, but during that downtime your brain is sorting, analyzing, and storing all that data into a massive library of insights. This is why you often spot red flags in relationships or situations before others even notice. Your recovery time isn't weakness, it's maintenance for a brain doing heavy lifting while others barely break a sweat. Compliments are another thing you might brush off like mosquitoes. People praise you, but you insist you just got lucky or that anyone could have done it. This isn't modesty, it's your brain playing chess with itself. When you reject praise, you're basically telling yourself, don't get comfortable, we're not done yet. Studies show many successful people do this. They perform at the highest levels but deflect compliments to keep pushing forward. Your brain gives more weight to criticism than praise. It's called negativity bias. In this case, it works in your favor, keeping you hungry, sharp, and constantly improving, while others waste time patting themselves on the back. And then there's the ability to function while suffering. You could be at work, giving a flawless presentation, making people laugh, while inside your head feels like it's burning. Nobody knows because you've mastered compartmentalization. It's like your brain has a filing cabinet with separate drawers. While others tip theirs over when life gets hard, you keep the get stuff done drawer open no matter what's happening in the others. Scientists found that this ability often develops out of necessity, or maybe you had to hold things together when everything was falling apart. Your brain learns to build walls between pain and performance. It's a strength hidden in plain sight. That CEO who seems to have it all may be battling in our chaos. That friend who's always reliable may be quietly carrying a storm. This isn't weakness dressed as strength. It's strength disguised as normal. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future, so if you found this eye-opening, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.